Hey everybody, it's Gina here from Gina Makes It. Today I am on the Graphics Fair YouTube channel with another tag video. And for this tag, I am focusing on the holidays because I love using tags inside of my journals for all sorts of different uses, such as journaling cards or to add pictures to, or just to have on a page so it pops out the top or the side. I just really like the way tags look kind of tucked in on pages. So for this series of tags, I decided to use some images from the Dashing Through the Snow themed bundle, which came out around November or maybe end of October. And I'm using the images of the children that kind of, some of them have angel wings on them. I just thought that these pictures were so stunning that I knew immediately I had to use them on these tags. It's because the images are so colorful and they're so dramatic in nature, I wanted to create a base for my tags that had some texture but was pretty neutral. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just creating a collage masterboard using some scraps that I have in a box from old projects, and just anytime I have like a little piece of paper that's left over, I just kind of throw it in this box, knowing that I'm very fond of making neutral colored collage masterboards. So you can see I'm just gluing the pieces down. And so once I finish doing that, I take my images that I printed from that Dashing Through the Snow themed bundle from the members only portion of the website, and I fussy cut them out. Now I realized that I only had room for 4 of the pictures, and so I wasn't able to use that last one, but that's okay because off camera I was able to create a little masterboard and I was able to use it. So I'm just taking my ink and I'm inking the edges, and I do this because it kind of finishes the image off, and it also creates a little bit of depth around the edges as well. So once I finish inking up the edges, I'm going to kind of fool around and try placing the images on the masterboard and kind of figure out where I want what. I end up moving them around towards the end, but just kind of going in and getting the first cut into the masterboard was kind of important because I knew that I could have moved these around all day long. As you can see, I'm really contemplating here. I thought maybe I was going to glue them down first, but I decided not to do that, and I'm glad I did because I ended up moving them, as I said before. So I just give a little mark and then I go ahead and start trimming down the board. Once I finish trimming down the board, this is when I start to really work on placement. And so I wanted to be able to see certain elements of each portion of the masterboard because some had more writing or a design that was of a little bit more interest. And I also wanted to place the images on top in a way that was visually appealing. And so I'm sort of offsetting some to the left, I'm offsetting some to the right, some are a little bit higher, some are a little bit lower, and I'm just kind of playing around with each masterboard and each image to try and figure out where I want which one. And I feel like this is a really fun part of the whole tag making process. I know that there's value in creating tags that are identical to each other. There is a time and a place for that, but there's also a time and a place to create tags that aren't identical but are very similar, where you apply the same strategies and techniques, but you get very different results just based on the background and the image itself. And so you can see I'm even trimming down some of the masterboard a little bit more because I'm trying to determine if I want it to be landscape or portrait. And so what I end up having are 4 very distinct looking tags, but yet they all kind of belong in the same family, right? Just based on how they look, but yet they're all very different and unique in their own way, just like a regular family is in everyday life. Everybody has their own personality and is their own person, but yet sometimes you can tell when people belong to a family. And so that's kind of how I'm looking at these tags. Once I get the images on the proper masterboard in the proper direction, that's when I glue them down. And I also take a little bit of time to kind of rough up the edges, add a few tears, add a little bit of ink, because I really want these to look kind of worn and antique and vintage and all of those good things that we like when we're working in our journals. And so that's exactly what I do to each tag as well. And then once I am done performing all of that on each of the tags, I take just a regular hole punch and I add a hole right around sort of the middle of the top of each tag, or I kind of guesstimate where the hole should be. And then I decide to use some sari silk to adorn the top of each tag. I decided to go with a nice green. This green is a very warm green. It's very sage-like because I liked the warmth of the tags itself, and I thought that there was enough neutrality in that green, because green is a neutral. I know a lot of people look at green as a color, but I learned a long time ago from an interior designer that green truly is considered a neutral. And so it's a different kind of neutral, but yet it is a neutral one in the same. And so I thought that it went really well with the background, and also it pulled a little bit of the green from each of the pictures. And so for the two more square tags, I decide to tie a traditional bow at the top. And then for the two that were sort of more narrow but taller, I decided to create a different effect with the sari silk and kind of have it looped at the top. And then I just take a piece of twine and I wrap it around to kind of collect the bulkiness of it and keep it all in line. I'm super excited to start incorporating these tags into my own holiday journal. This year I'm actually using a December journal, and within that December journal is where I'm going to be doing my holiday journaling versus having a whole separate holiday journal. I find that as my kids are getting older, it makes a little bit more sense to incorporate one into the other, because things just aren't as crazy as they used to be when they were younger. And so I get the best of both worlds. I get to journal about December, and I also get to journal about the holidays. So I probably will add some sort of a word sentiment to each of these tags. I thought about doing it now, but I didn't want to create a box that I felt like I had to fit into when I was actually using them. And I tend to do that a lot in journaling. I choose to leave things a little bit more empty versus kind of filling them up, because it just helps me through the journaling process. I don't feel so boxed in when I'm actually using it inside of my journal. So thanks so much for following along with me on another Graphics Fairy YouTube tag video. And if you're interested to watch some more inspirational videos, head on over to my own YouTube channel at Gina Makes It for some more ideas. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.